This video will demonstrate digitizing a 2D part using non-mathematical data, turning that into a nested sheet of a couple parts, machining that, and then inspecting the pieces. So to start, we're going to plug in the Digitizer board, and then we'll need to bring up the software that runs the digitizing program. This is a Windows 10 based machine. That's the most common use, but that's the starting screen. Next, it'll ask us to calibrate the board. Can't really see, but over on the side here, we'll pick up the pen. We'll click a couple places on the board, and that'll calibrate it. All right, one more click. There we have the size of the digitizer loaded into the computer screen. Next, we'll focus our attention back on the digitizer board itself. This is the part we were given to digitize. It's kind of hard to tell from this far away, but the line, the circumference on it is pretty sort of jagged, handmade. It's because it has to fit a particular shape. So we don't have any mathematical data. Instead, we're tracing this part. We're going to be accurate to within the diameter there of the tracing pen. Maybe if we wanted a bit closer, we could actually trace this on a piece of paper and then trace the paper. That might get us a bit closer. This process is probably going to give us kind of plus or minus 10 or maybe 20 thousandths to actual shape. And for us, that would work just fine. All right, we're coming around, made a complete lap on the outside of the part. Focus our attention back on the computer now. That's the part we just digitized. Now we'll save this file. We're going to save it as a DXF. That's the default file format. Put it in a place we know where it is. That's the location. Great. Now we're bringing up the CAM software. We are using Betrix for our CAM. I think this is Aspire. VCarve Pro would also work. We had the sheet already with one part on it. We want to demonstrate bringing in the part we just digitized. We will open up an import window, go select the file that we just created. Again, this is where it's important to remember where you saved it. Click that file there, and then it'll import it. We'll have the ability to reposition it, which we'll do now, a little to the right, down a little bit. Over, good there. All right. Next is we want to create toolpath for actually cutting these. We have all the parameters previously set for toolpath. We really just have to go to the bottom of this screen. I think we're using a 1/4 inch bit. Click calculate, and it will generate our toolpath for these two parts. It's giving me a warning saying it's going to cut through the material. That's our desired intent. Yes. There's the two parts toolpath and ready to go. Our last step is to save these to a file that runs on the CNC machine. Saved, done. We have loaded the code into the CNC machine and we're ready to start cutting. The cycle time on this first part is about 11 seconds. The second part's a little bigger. That takes about 12 seconds apart to do. All right, that one's finished. Ready, go. About 12 seconds for the bigger part. That's the one that we digitized in this video. This material is 3/4 thick plywood. There we go. Cutting is finished. These are the two parts when we take them back into the office. The little one we cut the first in the cycle, and the bigger one was second in the cycle. I want to get here close in on the edge. You can see the quality of cut. Certainly notice that there's no chipping top or bottom edge, particular top edge. This is finished material, so it's more sensitive than most.